Now, let me introduce what are you going to learn in this course. First, this is the questions-based SQL and Python course. You will learn SQL and Python by solving a series of relevant questions and projects. Let's check the first part. This is the system and environment. Here I will specifically introduce PostgreSQL components, including the tablespace, database, schemas, and the tables. I will walk through other database concepts, such as role and users, in the later database management section. I will introduce how to install PostgreSQL in this section. I will show the installation process and how to get started PostgreSQL session and to create the first SQL script. And then I will guide you to install Anaconda. Specifically, we will use the SQL packages such as sql002 and SQL Alchemy. We will use the SQL query tool under PostgreSQL PG Admin Graphics Interface, or what they call as GUI, as well as the Python pandas data frame under the Spider editor to browse and upload data in PostgreSQL in the following sections. In this session, I will also introduce how to use the PG Admin GUI to check and maintain the different objects. I will show you how to set up and change password as well. Let's check the second part, basic SQLs. I will show you how to create tables in PostgreSQL, including the lectures on different data types, definitions, and usage. Then I will talk about the key and reserved words in PostgreSQL and show how to use column quotes for query. I will instruct you how to write comments in PostgreSQL and Python for coding efficiency. Then I will walk through several questions for browsing, uploading CSV or flat files into PostgreSQL tables with different methods. Please notice these tables will be used in the following course sections and projects. Then we will learn basic SQL skills including select, where, group by, having, order by, limit, distinct statements according to many practical relevant questions and solutions. Based on the degree of complexity, I usually provided 2 to 5 similar technical skills questions using different data sources to review and reinforce the learning effect. I will also in these sessions introduce the following knowledge and skills, including the missing values query, summarizing data based on various kinds of SQL aggregation functions such as count, minimum, maximum, average, and more. The calculate columns based on formula and expressions is also covered in many case studies. I also teach various types of SQL functions to deal with different data types and application, such as string, numeric, and date functions. Especially, I extend the date and time lectures and case studies, including date string conversion, extracting date time parts, making date variables, calculation, and extractions from date intervals. The basic SQL's part also covers different tables joining such as inner, outer, natural, and self-joining. I will provide many real-world examples to demonstrate this important part, including a financial risk project to calculate overdue time. Further, I will show you how to extract samples from a large data set to improve the analysis, performance, and speed. After we have finished the basic SQL part, we will continue to study the intermediate SQL. We are going to study the conditional expressions in SQL, such as case, when statements to generate different columns based on the same field with different conditions. Then we will dive into the SQL subquery, which can handle more complex query in data analysis. For here, we will understand and master usage of correlated subquery as well as uncorrelated subquery. Then I will teach you how to use the operators any and all in SQL to efficiently select the data. After that, I will provide lecture to illustrate how to stack data using the operations such as union, intersect, and except. Then I will guide you to understand and utilize table constraints such as the serial column, unique, and not null. These constraints will help you create or insert valid data by eliminating garbage input. Students in this session will also learn the concepts about primary key, checking constraint, and foreign key by using many hands-on questions. I will provide solutions to demonstrate how to efficiently use these constraints under various scenarios. Then I will talk about how to alter tables, such as adding or dropping columns from tables, how to rename or drop tables, and how to delete records with a single or multiple tables based on different filter conditions. In this intermediate SQL part, you will also study how to use the rollup options in group by statement to generate summarized reports. I will also introduce array columns and array functions in PostgreSQL to deal with the columns with more complex data structures, such as address. I will also discuss and show how to use views in several practical questions. Finally, we will walk through a SQL capstone project for reviewing the knowledge we have learned in this part. We will use comprehensive SQL skills to analyze the year-over-year sales trend. After we have finished the intermediate SQL part, we will continue to study the advanced SQL. For here, you will learn the window functions and applications. You will understand the partitions by statement to generate the bucket results within each group. For example, to generate sequential number for each customer's transactions. Then I will provide the lecture on store procedures and use cases. I will design several practical cases to demonstrate how to start writing store procedures using the GUI window under PostgreSQL, and how to create your own SQL functions to return different objects such as table, action, set of table, and void. After this, I will keep guiding you to learn the triggers based on store procedures and to apply different types of triggers in different use cases. Then you are going to learn regular expression for more complex query. Here I will introduce several important topics such as how to extract the string from columns based on specific patterns, how to replace and split the text in the table's columns, and how to apply substring functions to extract the subtext based on the user-defined patterns. We then keep learning the statistical functions. Specifically, I will introduce several study cases for using their correlations and linear regressions along with the basic theories. After that, we will learn the database system administration part. We have pretty rich contents to learn this session. We will study how to use the SQL statement to show different databases in PostgreSQL. We will know that the current schema you are using and how to create a new schema, and how to show the table space names where tables reside. For here, you will understand database owners and now how to search those owners. You will master the user roles concepts and now how to search the information on specific user's role. Then I will lecture on how to use role groups in PostgreSQL and what is the login users and super user and how to change these roles. You will also learn how to alter and manage user roles, how to create your own roles, and how to grant privileges to roles and how to revoke roles. As the business part, I also provide the following contents, especially for DBAs. Create new users, list tables for under PostgreSQL, change ownership of tables, list privileges of table, create customized table space, create and alter databases using SQL and GUI, create new schemas using SQL and GUI, reset user's password and check version, describe tables, backup and restore databases, copy databases and drop databases. After we have finished the SQL training for basic, intermediate, and advanced parts, we will go through the real-world projects for your job interview. For here, I will provide lectures on guiding several capstone projects with the topics involved into different business backgrounds. I will walk through the rule based on fraud detection, using SQL to find the fraud transactions based on transaction time, frequency, and amount. You will use SQLs to conduct cohort analysis for credit cards overdue time. This is a typical example for credit risk analysis in the area of banking and financial institution. You will be guided to finish a project for setting up recommender system based on the movie's ratings from customers. You are going to apply the item-based collaborative filtering method to calculate correlation score using SQL statistical functions and tables self-join techniques. After that, you are going to use SQL to set up the stock database system. You will learn how to upload a series of the CSV files containing the daily trading stock data automatically into the PostgreSQL tables based on Python coding and SQL scripts. Finally, I have designed a project to utilize SQL store procedures for counting the maximum number of transactions in a specific period to imitate the real-world retail sales process. Please note, these projects mentioned above are all based on the real-world interview questions or use cases.